Now the next topic is the cyclometric complexity. Cyclometric complexity is again a software metric, with the help of which I can calculate the complexity of a application, of a software, or of a code, right? So that is what cyclometric complexity is of use. Now cyclometric complexity may be defined as it is a software metric, as I have told you, that measures the logical complexity of the program code. It counts the number of decisions in the given program code. Now, when I say number of decisions, it defines that in a particular code, if the code is a statement code and it involves the logic, that means conditional loops. So those particular conditional loops will trigger two decisions. Now, these particular number of decisions in the program code will help you to determine the logical complexity of the program code. Plus, it will always make sure that you are analyzing all the independent paths in the program code, which will help you in the testing part, right? Because when you test the code, you have to make sure that you are executing all the independent paths so that there is no error left. So there is no chances of error left in the program code. So what it is helping you in? It is helping you in calculating the logical complexity with the help of program code. It counts the number of decisions based on the loops and conditional statements. And it is going to help you in calculating the independent paths, which will further help you in testing process. Okay, this is the concept of cyclometric complexity. Now, with the help of cyclometric complexity, there are certain indications regarding the software. What are the indications? If there is a number, if the complexity is from 1 to 10, then it is considered to be a well-structured code. It does not have complexity in it. It is a structured and well-written code, and testability is high. That means you can easily test this particular code. It will be easily tested. It will include less of cost and effort. Now moving further, 10 to 20, the complexity of code increases, testability is medium, and medium cost and effort. As you move forward, 20 to 40, the complexity is high, testability gets low, because we are considering that if the complexity of the code is high, the testability is low, because it will be difficult to test the code, which is a complex code. And if it is greater than 40, then it is not a testable code and it is highly complex, which will include high cost and high effort. Now, on the basis of this, you can easily get the MCQs. Now, what is the importance of psychometric complexity? We will see. The importance of cyclometric complexity is it will help you in determining the software quality. As you can see that testability is difficult in terms of high complexity of the code. That means it defines the software quality. It is an important indicator of a program code's readability, maintainability, and portability. If the code is not very complex, it is considered to be readable, it is considered to be maintainable easily and portable. It helps the developers and the testers to determine independent path execution. I will tell you exactly with the help of an example what is independent path execution, right? Let's take an example. Let's say if I am considering a condition that if a student is having attendance greater than 75%, he will fill the exam form, else he will not. So if I am going to feed the attendance of a student less than 75, then I have to make sure I am going to test it for also with the value which is greater than 75. That means I should test with both the conditions, not only with less than 75, but with both the conditions, less than as well as greater than, less than as well as greater than, and it should give me the correct result in both the conditions. It should not be the possibility that I have just tested only for one condition. So this is what this is independent paths. This is all what this is one path and this is the other path. Okay. So this defines independent path execution. It helps to focus more on uncovered paths. The paths which are not covered, is going to be covered with the help of psychrometric complexity. It evaluates the risk associated with the application. If the complexity is very high, the risk is associated with the application. It provides assurance to the developers that all the paths have been tested at least once. That is what I was telling you. Independent paths should be considered to be tested at least once so that there is no error. Now, the properties of cyclometric complexity are: it is the maximum number of independent paths through the program code. We have already seen this, independent paths. It depends only on the number of decisions in the program code. I'll explain you with the help of the formula how it is important. Insertion and deletion of functional statements from the code does not affect the cyclometric complexity. It is always greater than or equal to 1. The cyclometric complexity is always greater than or equal to 1. If we have functional statement, that means we do not have conditional statement. If I'm going to delete or insert any new functional statement, it will not affect the cyclometric complexity. But if I'm inserting or deleting a conditional statement, that is decisions, then it is going to affect the cyclometric complexity. Let's see, cyclometric complexity is calculated using control flow graph representation of the program code. That means whenever the program code is given, I have to convert this program code into control flow graph, and then I have to calculate the cyclometric complexity. In control flow representation of the program code, nodes represents parts of the code having no branches. Edges represents possible control flow transfers during program execution. Let me tell you with the help of this particular diagram. Let's see, this is the code, right? This is the code, and in this code we have switch statement. Now this is a conditional statement. We have to, first of all, this is a program code. We have to convert into a control graph. How the control graph is drawn? Control graph is drawn with the help of the statements. That is, these circle ones are the nodes which are forming the statements, whether it is conditional or functional, right? These are what? These are the nodes. Then we have edges. Edges are what? Edges is the flow or execution of this statement. This is edge, right? So edges are defined with the help of E and nodes are defined with the help of N. Let's see how we have converted this particular program code into control graph. We have taken into consideration the switch code. First of all, the start. Switch code is given in the diamond box, but it is a node only. Now there are 4 conditions, let's say. There are 4 cases. 3 cases are defined here, 4 cases, because it will break A, B, C, and this one, right? So this is again the nodes. This will end here, whatever that is printed or done, and then they exit. So these are what? These are nodes and these are the edges. Now let's see how do we calculate. We have 3 formulas for this. 3 methods are there. One is cyclometric complexity is calculated with the help of total number of closed regions in the closed graph, in the control graph, plus 1. That means, let's see, closed region. You all know what is a closed region? Closed region is this particular, the one which is a closed loop. This is a closed loop 1, this is a closed loop 2, and this is a closed loop 3. So the closed loop 3 plus 1 is equal to what? Is equal to 4. So I get the complexity as 4. Second method says the cyclometric complexity is E is edges minus N plus 2. E is total number of edges in graph, N is total number of nodes in graph, and the plus 2. So here what we do? We define it as nodes. I calculate how many nodes are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So 8 nodes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 edges plus 2. So what I have? I have 10 minus 8 plus 2. Again, I get 4. So this is how the cyclometric complexity is done, right? So I think you have understood this part.